Greetings and salutations to you all once again. It is me, the Ravenous Spectre, and this video is pretty much going to be dealing with the Doom beta that is out right now. I've never been a fan of multiplayer games. Usually it's massively multiplayer online role-playing games or anything dealing with that caliber that I'm really kind of into, or maybe third-person shooters a little bit if I'm with friends or, with people I know, that kind of thing. Say like the Uncharted series thing and things like that. But I apologize. I was actually going to end up making a video where I was going to stream the game to my YouTube and then end up having it be live from there and then making a video out of it. I tried a few times and for some reason an error occurred and it didn't stream like I wanted it to, and I didn't even bother making a video for it because I figured with me having my headset plugged in, while I was talking, it would have ended up going to other players, and to be quite honest, I don't want to listen to other players. I don't want to hear them fussing at me or fussing at other teammates or little 12-year-old squeakers, bitching, pissing, moaning, and complaining, and all that crap. I just wasn't going to deal with it. I just wanted to play the game. So basically, excuse me, I played what I wanted to of it. I mean, there's the team deathmatch, and then there's where like you control a base kind of thing, and then there's a random option where you can actually go in and whichever one pops up is the one that you play, either the deathmatch or the control your base kind of thing. And so, or control a specific point. And you kind of go in and you can customize the colors of your Space Marine, and you can pick your loadout. There's like 3 different loadouts. There's like a sniper, an assault, and another one. I forgot what they were, but they kind of have the usual digs of like the sniper rifle and I think like the plasma gun and a grenade launcher and things of that nature. So I jumped in and I actually started playing the control a base point or whatever it was. And, it's kind of the usual standard fare when it comes to dealing with multiplayer games. You run around, you shoot the other team, and you run around and gather up health power-ups and excuse me, armor and guns. And, well, not guns, but you have your specific loadout when you start, so those are the guns that you're stuck with throughout the course of the match. And on the control the base area, you kind of see arrows that are pointing around where your team is going and where your enemies are going. So it's best if you actually stick with your team while you're going along so you don't easily, die. Because that happened to me a few times, and then I stuck with my team and it was a little bit easier. But then again, the enemies will do the exact same thing, the enemy players, I should say. And it was really cool. I got some good shots in there. I really like using the grenade launcher, just kind of sneaking up on people and shooting a grenade and, blowing them all to little juicy, chunky bits kind of thing. The graphics weren't really up to par. I mean, this is the beta, so, there's no real telling. Maybe the graphics can end up being increased over time. Maybe it's just the servers. Maybe it's just the way that they've had the multiplayer, the graphics in multiplayer. I mean, it could be completely different when it comes out, especially for the single-player mode. But it's just, I'm not really a huge fan of multiplayer games like I mentioned before, and the thing with, I'm just waiting for the single-player mode, I mean, the exact same way I felt about this is how I felt about pretty much all multiplayer games that I know that are of that caliber. I thought maybe there might have been a little bit something different, but apparently there really wasn't. It's just kind of your standard kind of fare. It almost seemed like it had a little bit of a Unreal Tournament type of feel, sort of, at least with how it controlled and how it played. I never played any Unreal Tournament. I've had friends of mine that I've seen play and seen videos of it and gameplay videos and whatnot. And there's also some portals as well that'll teleport you to. Sorry, I'm tripping over my words tonight. They'll teleport you to different parts of the map, and hopefully behind enemies or maybe right in front of an enemy, so you'll die or they'll die, one or the other. And yeah, it's the map we were on was kind of interesting. I guess it looked like it was in some type of region of hell or something. There was like fountains and waterfalls of blood coming down and skulls in different parts, and like demon insignias or whatever signs on the walls or on the floor in different areas. It was a real rocky kind of landscape kind of deal, but they may just have that one map there. I'm not necessarily sure. To be quite honest, I didn't even bother with like the deathmatch mode. I just dealt with the whole thing of controlling the base, because I mean, the deathmatch is probably going to pretty much end up being the same thing as like controlling a point type of mode, except the fact you're not controlling a point, you're just going against other enemy players and you're trying to kill each other. But anyways, yeah, it kind of sucks that I couldn't actually stream the gameplay like I wanted to, but yeah, that's, excuse me, that's neither here nor there. you know, and I didn't bother making a video because I figured maybe other players would end up hearing me, and I didn't bother to, you know, see if I could actually turn them off if they happened to hear me talking, or turn myself off so they wouldn't hear me talking or whatever. But anyways, yeah, I mean, it was really cool getting into a beta. I mean, this is actually the second beta that I've got into. I tried the open beta of The Division, which I tried the game and couldn't really get into it, especially when it's more multiplayer focused than it is single player focused. And me trying it single player didn't really work out for me, so I said, well, you know, the hell with this. You know, I'd have to actually have friends, which I do have some friends who do play The Division, but I was like, I don't really care to even be in like a online world right now, or having troubles with servers and things of that nature, because I've been hearing about people who've been having trouble with the servers when it comes to The Division. And I really thought maybe that would also kind of be the thing with the Doom beta that came out. Now granted, I ended up starting like, I don't know, half an hour later than when the servers actually got up and running, which I was trying to give myself a little bit of time before I got into the servers, just in case they might have had some problems or something when they had started out. So I just went ahead and waited about 30 minutes, went ahead and got on there, got in there fine, everything, you know, everything seemed to me like it was running smoothly, didn't drop out of the match or anything like that. Everything was kept like it was going on and pumping at a steady rate, didn't have any problems or nothing. So, I mean, you know what, it's actually kind of funny to put this little story into perspective. With dealing with the Doom beta, I honestly thought that I wasn't going to get into the beta, because when I got Wolfenstein: The New Order, a really great game by the way, you definitely need to play it. If you haven't, definitely play it. When I got it and I ended up going to put in my code the day that I got the game, it seemed to me like it wasn't taking my code. It seemed to me like it wasn't actually accepting it. So I was like, okay, well, this is strange. I'm like, well, man, let me just put it in later. I tried to put it in later and it wouldn't take it. I'm like, something just happened where it just like totally destroyed my code, and because it didn't give me a notification, let me know that I was going to be able to go ahead and end up doing that with like, you know, having access to the beta whenever the beta was going to come out, the closed beta. And sure enough, I ended up getting into it because basically the PlayStation, they ended up emailing me. I'm pretty sure they emailed everybody, letting them know that they were in the beta, the closed beta. I was like, yes. I was like, awesome. You know, I actually get to try a little bit of this whole multiplayer thing out with the new Doom game that's coming, because I'm definitely excited for it. I really want to play the single player mode, blow the hell out of some demons and all of that. And so when it finally came time, I went ahead and downloaded it and all that and started playing it tonight. You know, but anyways, maybe, I don't know, maybe at some point they'll end up coming out with an open beta. I mean, it's pretty close to release, I think. I think it's like a month and a half or something, I believe, until it's actually going to release. So we'll definitely have to see. Maybe the multiplayer will have more modes. Maybe the multiplayer even be better than what it was before, with more maps, and maybe even a chance maybe there'll even be more players than what there are now. I mean, it's a closed beta. You know, you're pretty much going in and testing everything out. So maybe my opinion later on down the road could be completely different than what it is now. But as it is for right now, it just really seems like it's just kind of standard fare. You know, there's nothing really, anything that stands out. So if there is an open beta, I mean, if you're into Doom, if there happens to be an open beta, then definitely check it out. Otherwise, you know, I don't know if there's some other codes or something out there that somehow you guys could possibly get to be able to check out the closed beta, or whether it's just completely closed off now. You know, I don't really know. I don't know how that whole shindig works. So anyways, I just wanted to make this quick video on my thoughts and opinions on the Doom multiplayer beta, and I'll end this like I always do. Later, taters.